you think about what happens during the lockout is, in essence, you have a form of Green Hibernian nationalism. You have an emerging Catholic elite, personified by William Martin Murphy. You're all about William Martin Murphy. And on the side of William Martin Murphy, you have all the establishment figures. You have Dublin Castle in the State, on Bloody Sunday in August 1913. The police killed 2 people in what Thomas Clark calls official hooliganism. Okay? So Lorgan appears in the sky, speaks from the bottom of the Imperial Lieutenant Sackville, now Common Street, and the police come down and pot and charge the strikers. And you've eyewitness reports of them kicking defenceless women lying on the ground. Between 2 and 300 people are injured, 2 people die. A striker then kills a female Lorganite supporter that night, and then an Irish Transport and General Workers Union organiser is killed that day as well. And this becomes one of the various Bloody Sundays that we have in Irish history. So what the lockout is about working class people and what Franz Fanon would call the wretched of the earth, trying to survive. In the second city of an empire, right, where over 100 children out of 1,000 are dying in infancy, where the rate of tuberculosis is twice as high as it is in the rest of Great Britain. It's not great to be poor. Okay? And where, in essence, you have over 20,000 people engaged in this struggle for trade union recognition, for the right to at least negotiate better terms and conditions and be recognised members of the trade union. And in all, in the 8-month struggle, about 100,000 people are affected indirectly or directly by this. And they're penalised. They're penalised by the Irish National Catholic establishment, the Catholic Church, and the British state. And the reason why they're penalised is because they dare to question the right to property, and they dare to question their destiny. And their destiny is to struggle and starve. And that's essentially what the lockout is about. And its great inheritance is that it establishes, even though it fails in its immediate objective, it establishes the right of the Irish working class to carve out a decent society, and it establishes trade unions. And I got there were five lessons. I'll not give you the 5 in an hour, but I'll go through it very, very quickly. The first one of these is that the emancipation of the working class in Ireland cannot be facilitated by Irish nationalism. In fact, Irish nationalism tends to be an obstacle to the emancipation of the Irish working class. Because Joe Devlin, who you might have heard of, the head of the Hibernians here in West Belfast, who presented himself as a sort of populist, democratic national politician, he sent Belfast Hibernians down to Dublin during the lockout to act as strike breakers. So that's what Irish nationalism in Hibernian does to you. The Catholic Church is no friend of the worker, and our rewards will be great in heaven. We'll suffer here on earth. And there's another good line about a parish priest getting up in Dublin and saying that Jim Larkin always wore a hat to hide his third eye in his forehead because he was in league with the devil. Right? So nationalism is not going to do anything for you. And the second thing that this will demonstrate is that this concept of Irish nationalism, or what an Irish nation is, shouldn't be geographically linked. Right? That if you look at the most progressive and the most radical people in Irish history, most of them were born in Britain. Thomas Clark's first signatory to the 1916 proclamation. Isle of Wight. Padraig Pearse's dad was an English stonemason. James Connolly and James Larkin are Monaghan and South Armagh, people who move over to Liverpool and Glasgow. And I wanted to read this out something in Irish because I think that the mobilised and the socialist working class and the genuine working class of Britain are far better friends with the Irish working class than a lot of people who were to be Irish nationalists and great Irishmen. But I was thinking about that when I was reading Byron and the Follow, which is the novel that Meyer wrote, was hit up on the thing, and it described another great champion of the working class and democracy, another Irish accent, Micheál Mac Bhloscaidh, and it described in this new book how he was evicted during the famine and he moved to Lancashire. He loses his arm. Didn't stop him then the first saw in Celtic Park and there you go. But if we can find this, I want to read it out, and here it is here. It goes, Lévi Urscoil Baile, na Malad, and Yarn Pershishar, Intreoir Ach Ella, Micheál Mac Bhloscaidh, agus an Dair G. Shelby, when I thought in DNA, the Gondimeo, agus a Kerala, and here it is. Ig Shasman Shin, a Stiskerni, and a Gar, Gajina, who farted and chap, a Bolo, Fristje, Barn. His family standing there on the side of the road, grinding their teeth, looking on until all that was left of their home was a roofless, broken south at the minute for standing up for people who are going to be evicted, and the Gardaí facilitating loyalist thugs who were brought in to act as bailiffs. And the great commies gets then been doing house the green flag over Dublin Castle in the morning, but if you don't celebrate Dublin Republic, their efforts will be in vain. So the first thing is nationalism is no friend. The second thing is that working class Irish people that have got lot more solidarity and more common with working class British people and the working class across the world than they should with their own ruling class. The third thing is that the police will always, Brenton Bean, another great working class Republican socialist from Dublin, says he'd never seen a bad situation and the policeman couldn't make worse.
Very true.
Yeah. So don't we expect anything from the police? Justice is not blind. Right? Justice is what you would, Christy Moore says in the well-mannered thugs. Is the justice that working class people and ordinary people can expect. And you'll see reference to this in this. Well, James Larkin is standing up for the most deprived and the poorest people in Irish society. Albert Carson is over in London organising a rebellion and importing arms. The police are beating, striking workers in Dublin to death. They're helping the UBF unload guns from Larne. So, you know, it depends. You're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You get a different type of justice. And if you're born at the bottom of the heap. The fourth thing, and you thought there's five, there you go, here. Alright. Is that while the working class in Ireland and the working class internationally are dependent on each other, and we have to depend on ourselves in order to achieve proper emancipation, we should be perhaps worried that sometimes working class organisations and trade union movements, and Labour parties even, should be report to be the champions of the working class cannot be fully relied on. You'll see this in this way. The British working class themselves offer profound and deep felt support for the striking people in Dublin and Larkin's very cross crusade creates a great perception. The trade union bureaucracy in England, they give them what's called an Irish and Belvoir. Agus is Darhan and Brege and Belvoir. The soft soap is the brother of the light, and in essence they let them down. And I was thinking about the guards helping the loyalists to suggest people. I was also thinking about Keir Starmer, or Queer Starmer, the main column from mine. I was thinking about there this week and two different types of Labour leaders, or leaders of the Labour Party. Jeremy Corbyn, a genuine committed on principle who's trying to improve a lot for the many, not the few, and who was essentially not allowed to gain government power, and someone who's just the embodiment of corruption. Today says he's like an experiment carried out by Tony Blair that showed himself if I'm wrong. What would happen if you tried to reproduce Tony Blair in a petri dish? You'd probably get Keir Starmer. So you have to be careful. Be careful about over-investment, perhaps, in politicians who may claim to respect the working class or to be out for the working class, and perhaps when they get somewhere near power will do very little for it. And you'll see that in this year. But the last thing, and this is the last thing I'll say, I'm translating something of Britain and Irish here, and it's, even though the lockout doesn't achieve its initial objectives, it's defeat, the bitter dust of defeat, as Conley calls it, when he comes back. It did establish something, establish the right to trade union organisation and mobilisation in Ireland, and it's an important lesson to us today, is that every single democratic right, basic element of welfare, any democracy that exists today is because of the struggle of united people. It's the working class and the people who are disadvantaged and oppressed by the system who've gained these things, sometimes through successful revolution, but sometimes through gaining reforms in anticipation of the fact that if the reforms weren't granted, there might be a successful revolution. And those who give things out would equally like to take them away again. And these rights that we think we have will be taken away very quickly, and are in the process of being eroded and taken away all the time. And it's only through the united action of people who all have committed principles and who want to create a better society. People like, for all their faults as human beings, James Larkin and James Conley, and the courageous men and women who support it. It's only through unified action by people like that we can create the type of society in which every single human being has the right to a decent life and a decent existence, the type of society that Larkin, Conley, and Amelia and the rest of them, Marcelia and the rest of them wanted to achieve. And I just watch it then. maybe make your own mind, but if you have a great line in it, and this is how I'll finish it, say, Mar a dúirt an Lorcan ach bhíonn bar a lá a bheith in different a gcóir a Dante agus MacDowid ná ar neu go Carson and Martin. Or better to be in a tail with Dante and David than in heaven with Carson and William Martin. So there you go.